are ruined. Okay? Everybody's got one, but some people's are ruined from inattention or too much attention or whatever you want to call it. But damn, there are people whose assholes are more pristine than others. They've earned the right to say, hey, my asshole's a little better than your asshole. And that's opinion. That's opinion.
You're a sick man. And she has to deal with you all day.
I said that to her in the midst of us arguing about something. But it struck me as that's a brilliant thought. Because honestly, if you maintain your butthole, then you should get more respect than somebody who uses it as a fucking sewer pipe. You know what I mean? There's so much. So I'm just saying, like, if you cultivate your opinion and you canvass different, you read books, you read different articles. I read the National Review. I read all types of liberal shit. And I read everything so nobody can accuse me of just knowing the liberal talking points or just knowing the conservative talking points.
Right. But there is some stuff, though.
The fact that you read, that's the big thing. You are reading and you're not. Plus, you refuse to join the group, both of you. You will not join the group. You fight for the right to be the individual of who you are, which is make you guys, makes all of us who we are. I mean, like you said, everything starts with you, right? So we start with, I told a friend of mine, I said, I'm just a black misfit toy. I just want to be a dentist. He said, what? He said, man, where do you get this shit? And I said, that's because that's how I feel. I know I don't fit, and I'm okay with that. Right. I'm not trying to fit. I just want to be Tymon, and I fight to be Tymon. When I write, when I do, whether it's my comedy or whatever, we fight to be that particular person, and we don't join groups. And that's why we have the opinions that we have. We're going to make you look at it. No one ever thought to start talking about, well, everybody's got an asshole, and the asshole is da-da-da-da. That is an Ed Greer term. Nobody's going to do that.
Well, I think I want to give Jim Coughlin credit for this, although it may be someone else, but I believe it was Jim who had the joke, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one except for my cousin Bruce. So if you are the author of that joke and not Jim Coughlin, I apologize. Hit me up on Facebook or Twitter. Let me know who actually wrote it. But for now, we're going to give Jim credit with it. One thing to go back to a point that Klee was making earlier about everybody wanting to scream about what they know. And, when it comes to skinning raccoons, there was back when I was in college and I worked security at a music venue. One of our other security guys, and this is in the middle of Missouri, in college town, so cultural oasis of sorts. And we often joked about the cultural corridor of I-70. If you went more than 10 miles north or south, welcome to Deliverance. But one of my coworkers was, he proudly called himself a redneck. And, I don't think he was a racist, hung out with this Jew, and it's not like I was hiding my identity. But he would hunt on the regular, and he made fucking amazing venison sausage. And it was one of those things. It's like one of the people I grew up with, in the burbs outside of Chicago, his family, they were woodsmen of sorts. So they went hunting and, I actually had game meat with their family for the first time. But for the most part, like nobody else that I knew or hung out with on a regular basis was going out shooting animals and making them tastier than they should be. So, props to him. The thing is, like, if you listen to him talk, he's got the accent. And we went mudding last weekend in the truck. And, it's like you could write him off as an ignorant son of a bitch. But if you listen to him, you're going to find out he reads. Yeah. And he's got a skill set that you definitely don't have that is valuable.
Exactly.
So
that's what I think.
It's like you can't write these people off. But one of the big issues in the news this week, and one of these arenas that they are proud to explain, I don't know how many folks have taken to Facebook to explain to us libtards what an AR-15 actually is.
Yeah. That's really not the point. Okay.
Right.
It's not assault rifle. Thank you very much. It still killed 17 children and teachers.
Yeah, there was
the people were supposed to be protecting.
Was it in Belgium this week where 4 people got stabbed? And seriously, but they got 4 people stabbed, not killed. injured severely, but 4 people stabbed. You know, there was just yesterday. I mean, we are recording this. It is March 10th, Saturday morning. Yesterday, up in Northern California, there was a hostage situation at a VA facility.
Yep.
Yeah.
3 women who take care of the veterans were killed by a guy who came in with video games because that's who the president was blaming this week. No, the guy came in with a gun in where's the Flappers that isn't in Burbank?
Claremont.
Claremont, Pomona, where I'm getting at. 2 cops killed yesterday by a guy armed with what? Video games? No, with guns.
Well, I mean, but it's also gotcha. It's gotcha society, though, which is what I think we even talked a little bit about it last time I was on here. But this gotcha society is like, okay, I cheated on my wife, but if I catch my wife cheating, that's what I concentrate on, right? Because I'm on team me. I cheated on my wife. That's great. But if I catch her with the fucking pool boy or something, all of a sudden it's a big hairy ass deal, and I build my case against her so that da. You know, nobody looks at their own sins like liberals. When liberals are stupid, we sweep it under the rug, and we look at how stupid Republicans are. We parse through what they say to catch them messing up. When we as liberals, some of us who aren't from Missouri like myself, go like, "Hey, it's AR-15, assault rifle 15." What? There was 14 other ones.
Am I going to be able to be shot with that if I didn't see the first 14 ARs?
Right. Will I understand my death if I haven't seen the first AR movies all the way up to this one? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's utterly ridiculous how nobody goes, "Oh, I understand you misspoke. What you meant to say was Armalite rifle, or whatever the fuck it's called." You know what I mean? Fine. But where's the grace? You know what I mean? When you're arguing with your friend and your friend goes, "Yeah, that was Sandy Swanson." You know, no, it's Sandy Wexler. Oh yeah. We're able to, as friends, let each other misspeak, but we know the flavor of the time. But no, if I catch you on Twitter, I'm a fucking magnify it, and then
It's there with an EI, not there.
Oh God! I'm a grammar Nazi.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a grammar Nazi.
I think we got a room full of grammar
Yeah,
Nazis.
I'm a grammar Nazi.
Not me.
Really?
I'm a grammar.
You mean in writing?
Yeah.
I don't think it's
really.
classist. There is a school of liberal thought where it's like, it's classist.
'Cause I know people make mistakes. That's all. I'm just saying.
Right. And I get that.
It depends on the nature of the conversation, because if somebody comes, the only time because I used to be a grammar Nazi back in the early days of message boards and all that type of stuff, I'd be like, come on, man, you're negating. But now I understand that like autocorrect is a thing. You know, you're typing in haste is a thing. And the only time
Right.
I ever really pull that grammar Nazi gotcha card is if they're policing my language first. Police my language, I'll police the fuck out of yours, because this is what I do for a living.
Right.
So
yeah, don't start no policing
yeah.
language, won't be no policing
Exactly.
language.
You're catching the bull by the horns if you come for me that way. Because it's like I've had people try to do that, and I'm like, it's Facebook. We're not submitting for the Wall Street Journal. We're submitting it for Facebook's community standards.
Yeah, but
So,
and I mean, I am one of those people who still texts in full sentences and full
I do
words
too.
because I'm not
like, anybody
Prince.
who's over the age of 35 doesn't use you are and you for you and all that type of stuff. And
Unless you're Prince.
Yeah, and BRB.
And he's gone.
And
So
he's been doing that since 1993. So, rest in
but he
peace,
did it like
Prince.
it was 1999.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for him it was 1999.
It's not just puns,
Yeah.
folks. It's not just puns.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
in Prince's
an
world,
asshole
he
with
won't be
music
dead for another
references.
10 years.
But yeah, well, but also
But it's to the point though. It's like I try not to police people's language too much, unless you're one of those people who does like alternate caps or something like that. Then I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
you've negated your argument before you even started.
Years ago, I dated a girl who would write emails where it looked like those ransom letters in the
Yeah.
movies where it's all cut out of magazines. It's like,
Yeah.
you didn't even change font. How do you do that? There is no 7 in the middle of this word. You know, like what the
Right.
fuck are you doing?
Bitch, are you a cryptographer? What? Just an imitation game? And
She's
just
a wind talker.
Oh, and I'm the guy with the deep references.
you were
Okay.
dating a Navajo wind talker. How progressive of you, Dave.
You know, I try. I'm one of those Jews.
The argument is, but if it's patently false, or if you can only back it up with Breitbart articles, and
right?
For you.
Well, and you know,
If I only back up
I'm
everything
fond
I have
of
to say with
telling people.
MSNBC, you should come for me.
Yeah, I'm fond of telling people, you know, a lot of people get down on semantics, but semantics is the difference between I've stopped taking drugs and I'm off my meds. Yeah. You know, it's a fine line, but an important one.
But it's like, I understand that when somebody says there, and you're policing them on that, you derail the conversation entirely, because now you're just.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. It's all derailments.
Yeah.
Nobody is trying to defeat anyone. It'd be like if in a boxing match, there's a guy trying to punch another guy, and there's another guy going, "Hey, he's violating the rules," and he's running around the ring, and he's pulling the ropes aside and jumping through them and running around and getting some popcorn for the guys in the front row and taking his full 10 count to get back in the ring before, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not fighting. You're not fighting. You're distracting. You're trying to distract. I hate that on both sides, but I know one side who does it way more than the other.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I agree, but in a world where, you know, facts are almost irrelevant to a lot of arguments because ignorance has been, you know,
well, we do a lot
made
of
a virtue,
we do a lot
and
of,
like you were saying, Ed, you know, my confidence beats your expertise.
Mm-hmm. Well, we love to
in
critique.
that kind of a world, you know, where I think the distraction tactic is an option that some people resort to. Some people, it's the first card they play.
Well, it's critiquing. Everybody loves to critique. I'm going to critique you. We can't just sit and have a decent conversation and, yeah, you screwed up a word. Yeah, you wrote this wrong. Just have a conversation.
Well, that's why. If critiquing is the first card you play, or if distraction is the first card you play, I automatically I disengage from that conversation, because that person isn't interested in having any dialogue.
Right.
And it's like why when you see Facebook threads and you see people actually having a dialogue, there's always a third party who comes in and like, look at this civil conversation on the internet. They always have to applaud it because it's so rare. It's like seeing a fucking unicorn. You're like, look at this. I just saw one the other day, people talking about Black Panther, and now there's like, I had to tell somebody who didn't really like Black Panther, shock of shocks, and you're like, what? But then they broke down, it's like, it has nothing to do with the nature of the movie, and this is and he wasn't trying to troll, and he wasn't trying to, and he was a black dude, and he wasn't trying to be a hotep black brother who was just like, well, giving the white man the money though, and like, he wasn't doing any of those things. He just like, I saw a few like sort of story points that I didn't like. He's like, as a whole, I applaud the movie. As a black person, I applaud how much money it's making and how much coverage it's gotten and all that type of thing. But I saw a few things as a filmmaker. Here's my issues. And then somebody was like, brother, what are you doing? And then they had a civil conversation. And then here comes the third party like, look at this civil conversation on Facebook of all places.
But
that's
it's like
craziness.
You know what?
But it shouldn't be that way. It should always be, we can have a dialogue and nobody has to shout anybody down or distract or derail.
You made a good point, though. Ed and I were talking once about how black folks we all don't support everything that we are, you know, just because you like, everybody don't eat collard greens and chitlins. I'm sorry. Everybody don't like
My cousin hates watermelon. She thinks the texture is weird.
Okay. Oh, see, and everybody don't eat fried chicken. And they get upset, you know, and because
but she's not black enough because she doesn't like watermelon.
That's it, yeah, you know, so yeah.
Flip side, God, how patronizing is this going to sound? One of my black friends, but I make fucking awesome barbecue.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies, who's originally from Texas, he was living out here for a few years. We were at a party. He's like, I don't care about the stereotypes. I'm eating the fuck out of your ribs.
Yeah.
But then there was that whole thing on Twitter last week about that Brooklyn barbecue place, and their picture went viral. They were like, got written up in Eater magazine or Mashable or something like that. And the picture that they accompanied the article with, it was some sad looking barbecue. And then all of Texas and Missouri and a little bit of Tennessee came for these people. And which is like, because like the title of the article was also, why is Brooklyn barbecue taking over the world? And everybody was just like, what? With this gray meat in this picture. Everybody was
gray sauceless garbage meat on one side of the plate, on a giant tray, one side of the plate. One side of the plate, gray garbage meat. One side of the plate, 4 pickles. And then like some potato salad. Like
of pickle, not a whole pickle.
Yeah, a gob of potato salad. And they were like, wow, look at on a butcher block plate. Like it was supposed to be haute couture.
All right, well, I will say that is a valid question. If that's the picture they're showing, why the fuck would that be taking over the world?
And that's why everybody was like, and all, like literally it seemed like all of Texas was just like, no. And Missouri was like, we are with you. Like this is the first time Texas and Missouri barbecue have ever joined forces. Right. And have been like, no, this is wrong.
But also to get back to the point though, They were arguing about something
Yeah.
that you could actually have a differing opinion on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like sauce on my
Yeah,
meat.
because it is
I don't
subjective.
like sauce on my meat. These are subjective things. But when we're arguing about what a fucking fact is,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. And we've officially gone overboard.
Well, and I will